Hey everybody, welcome back to Trinity Dairy. Don't forget to like, share, leave a comment, subscribe if you haven't already. You can also check out our merch store if you're looking for any of our merchandise, and you can follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Today is April 17th, 2024. The rain is pretty much stopped here now. It rained all day yesterday and through the night. I don't know how much we got. I did not have the gauge out. We were supposed to get like 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches. And I'm not really sure what we got, so I can't say. I would say those were probably pretty close estimates. We probably got somewhere around there, but definitely everything is really greening up. We were really glad to get that rain because after last year we really needed it. We're on pretty light soil here too, so we kind of take what we can get for moisture. So that was nice, and it was a beautiful rain. It was a slow rain. It didn't come in a big downpour. Just really, it would rain a little while and stop so it could kind of soak in. So that was really, really nice to get that. So what we're going to do now, since we did get that rain, the corral where the cows go through the corral to get out to the pasture, it's pretty sloppy right now. Take a couple days for that to dry out, so I'm going to probably just leave the cows in the barn. So I got to bring up some corn silage in there. I'm just going to use the skid steer to do that. Just carry a bucket load over and fill the wheelbarrows out of there instead of pulling that wagon out and using that. So that's what we're going to do now. I got to put new inflations in the milker units because those are getting ready to get changed. And I've got some more oat ground to get disked up on some rented land. So I'm going to see if I got time to get up there to do that before I got to go to work. I think it should be able to disc quite a bit up there, even though with this rain, like I said, it's pretty light soil, so that usually doesn't slow us down too much. I'm hoping to get oats in the ground this week. Maybe not all of them, but get a good start. I got the seed oats. We went Monday and picked those up, so I got those all ready to go. Grain drill I was going to pull out and get ready, but with this rain coming, I didn't want to have it sitting outside. So we got to do that yet, but that's pretty much just pull it out and grease it up. So anyway, we're going to get the skid steer fired up, get the wheelbarrows ready, and get some silage fed. got silage fed. That went good. We're in the milk house here now. I'm going to change out these inflations. I've done this before in other videos, so I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time having you guys watch me do this. But I'll kind of explain what I'm talking about for those of you that don't know. So the inflations, they're this rubber piece here. We use a triangle bore inflation. They make square bore, they make round bore. The end is round where the teat goes in, but this part here is triangle shaped, and then round again where the milk comes out. So what these do, this is the part of the milking machine that contacts the cow. And they wear out, some faster than others, depending on the size of your herd, amount of milkers you have, how many times a day you milk. That all varies. We change ours twice a year, usually try every 6 months. Seems to work pretty well for us. Some farms are more, some farms are less. But so this is what the milking units look like. So this is one of them here. Tip it upside down so it'll go this way on the cow. And these flip up to the cow. So you've got your stainless steel shell here. Some of them have a plastic shell. Some of them you just change out the whole shell and everything. They're plastic. You just get a whole new shell and everything. You don't have to do what I'm doing. You just unhook it here and change it out. But anyway, so you have vacuum here. So when you put this on the cow and you hit this button, turns the vacuum on. You have vacuum inside of this, down inside here, to pull the milk away from the cow when she releases her milk. Just lets it go into the bowl, and there's vacuum in this big line, pulls it up, winds up coming into the bulk tank. This other little line on the side, that's hooked to these pulsators. And what they do is they click back and forth and they turn vacuum on and off. So between this stainless shell and the inflation, it'll turn vacuum on and it'll pull this out, and then when it shuts vacuum off, there's still vacuum on the inside, so it kind of pulls these in. So you get a pulsing motion here to basically give a milk phase and a rest phase on the teat, and it just constantly does that while it's on the cow. And that's about it. After time, they wear out, they get rough inside. I haven't actually looked in these yet. They're kind of feeling there. They're maybe starting to feel a little bit rough. But and if they get bad, they get rough, they can get holes in them. I know there's a couple of them where they flex here that are starting to get little holes in them. So you get vacuum leaks and stuff if that happens. And if they get in bad shape, that can cause a lot of issues for the cow. You can get mastitis in the cow, high somatic cell. It can just mess your cow up if they get really bad. So that's why we're changing them. So I'll just kind of show you here. I'll do one or two for you guys to see, and that'll probably be it. I'm going to do the rest of them. I'm going to do the whole thing, but you don't need to. I'm sure you don't want to sit and watch all that. So just pop it off of there. I think with these, we'll see if there's one of these that's dirty inside of here. I'll pull it all the way off and clean it. Otherwise, I think I'm just going to leave these hoses hooked up and switch them out. I could take the bowls all apart and clean all the gasket and stuff up, but I don't have any replacement gaskets for this bowl on hand. And sometimes when you take those gaskets out of there, after they've been in there, they're really hard to get back in and they don't want to seal up. So we'll just leave that alone. Unless we absolutely have to take one apart. But I just take a little screwdriver, push this lip in around here. There we go. And pop it out of there, and that's it. We'll put that in a different pile so we don't put the old ones back in. And the shell looks clean inside and seems to be dry and everything in there. So they've got a couple alignment marks on them. I don't know how well you can see that. It blends in, but one on the top, one on the bottom. So when you put them back in there, you want those to be in the same place so you don't have a a twist inside of the shell. Put that through. Pop the top back down on. Make sure the bottom's in the right place. And pull it through. And there we go, one down. So I'm going to go through and get these done, and then we'll move on to the next project. Hey everybody, we're back again. It's later in the evening now. I didn't get a chance to do any disking before I had to go to drive bus. So we just kind of finished up milking, and the kids are finishing up, kids and Jen are finishing up chores. So I'm going to run up, fire this 12 up, and we'll go up and do a little disking on that same piece we had oats on there last year. So it's just oat stubble. I think that'll disc up pretty well. But we'll try it out and see what happens. Well, it's the next day. We're back out in the field. I took a little video last night, but it was getting dark. This camera doesn't pick up real well. When it starts getting dark, it gets shaky, so I figured I'd get some more today a little bit. I did put the wings down on the disc. It's a little sandier up here, and with the rain that we've had, it was cutting in plenty good with the wings down, so I can take a bigger swath that way. I don't need as much weight on the disc to cut in. This field that I'm doing here is, I think it's only about 7 or 8 acres, and I got most of it done. I probably only have maybe 3 acres or so left, so it shouldn't take me too long, but I'll have Jen get a little bit of video of that, and then maybe once I get back from work, I'll get the field cultivator hooked up and get that ready to go, because I think I'm gonna probably get a little fertilizer on here, and then I'll run over it lightly with that cultivator and spike tooth to kind of finish it off, and then it'll be ready for seeding. So not too much longer, and we should be getting some seed in the ground. everybody, welcome back. It's the next day. I did not get the field cultivator hooked up last night. Just got late with chores and got dark, so I didn't feel like messing around in the dark to do that. So we're gonna get that going now. Try to get some fertilizer today. I'll see. I don't imagine they're too busy yet because it is kind of early and a lot of the heavy soil around is too wet to get into, so I don't think that'll be an issue. But I want to get some fertilizer spread and then go over it with that field cultivator and the spike tooth and kind of do a finishing pass, work that fertilizer in, and then hopefully tomorrow we can start getting some oats in the ground. I got to move my pickup and the trailer. I got the 1066 in the shed over here, still hooked to the grinder mixer. Get that fired up, get some fuel in it. Figured I'd show you my seed oats. I went and picked these up. I think it was Monday we went and got them. These are, I got 2 totes, which is probably a little bit more than I'll need, but I figured it was better to have a little extra than not enough. I've got 1 small field that I'm going to seed in, I think, to alfalfa, a rented piece, but so that I seed a little bit lighter. But last year I did about 4 bushel to the acre, just straight oats with no underseeding, and that actually turned out real well. So kind of planning on doing that again on the ground that I'm not going to seed in. But these are let's see in there, I don't know. I guess oats are oats. There's nothing too fancy about them, but these are Rodney, the variety. My dad planted these, that variety, I suppose been probably 4 years ago or so now, and they turned out really well for him. And the same guy he got the seed from had seed again, so I got some from him, so I figured we'll give that a whirl. But I'm going to fire up that 10. We'll get that warmed up, get this trailer moved, get that unhooked and all that. So see if we can get that out of the shed and get things moving. Got the starter rebuilt on that thing a couple months ago, and it's never started that good. Cranks right over now. It's 34 degrees out. That thing hasn't been plugged in, and it's been a while since it's even been started. We actually had some snow come through this morning and kind of covered the ground, so that was kind of interesting. It's pretty windy today too. It's kind of sheltered here, but there's pretty good wind blowing out in the open. So we'll leave that warm up and then get some fuel in it and stuff, and we'll get hooked up. Got it hooked up, got it all lifted up, but I see I got a flat tire, so I'm gonna have to go back and get the air tank and air that up. But I always leave these wings folded down when it sits because the tops of that square tubing are open, and then they fill up with water, and I'm worried they're gonna stay with water and freeze and crack over winter. So that's why I started leaving that down. But so I'm gonna get this shut down, and we'll run back, get some air tank and get this filled up. This thing here is getting, some of the shovels are starting to get pretty thin. I replaced some last year. I've got, I think, 20 on order. I try to put on a few every year when they get down there because they seem like they wear differently, but they're not in yet, so we're going to just use it like it is just for finishing. I think it'll work fine, but hopefully those will get in pretty soon before we start doing a little heavier tillage with it and get some of the bad ones replaced. But anyway, I think we'll probably wrap it up for this video. Hope you enjoy it. I know it's nothing too exciting going on yet, a little more disking and stuff, but anyway, we got more to come, get some fertilizer out and all that, so we'll see you in the next one. Well, the redneck soil finisher should be ready for action.